All right, so let's talk vision. All right, what is vision, first of all? So vision is a clear picture of the future. By the way, before I forget, if you guys needed, okay, well, let's go over it. And if you needed some of this stuff that I'm going to cover right now, you can just send me a message on Instagram and I'll just send it to you. Okay. All right. So vision is a clear picture of the future you're committed to creating that guides your decisions, fuels your motivation, and gives you meaning to your actions today. So let's go a little bit more clear. Okay. Vision is knowing exactly where you're going and why. So what is it, vision? Exactly where I'm going and why am I going there? So I'm going to give you homeworks for next week, okay? So I'm going to give you a lot of homeworks, okay? And that's why I'm telling you, if you need this PowerPoint, this second one, just send me a message, okay? So vision is the ability to see the destination before it exists and lead others toward it with clarity and conviction. What else? Vision is the future you see for your life that is bigger than your current circumstances. Are we clear? We're like, here's what it is down here. Here's how it's going to look like. I'll give you more clarity. Now, why is it important to know? Vision is important because it tells you where to aim your time, energy, and decision. In other words, when you have a vision, you know what to say no to. Okay? You already have made that decision before other things come to you. Okay? I'm going to show you exactly how you put it together. So, vision is important because it aligns people toward the same future and turn efforts into impact. How many guys heard it or read it in the Bible? What does the Bible say about vision? Yeah, so when the vision goes away, what happens? Perish. Okay, you got it. Vision is important because it pulls you forward when motivation runs out. Because a lot of times people are just going based on I'm fired up, I'm excited. So I can tell you this, 99% of the time. So people quit, yes? People quit. And by the way, this is why winning in life is so easy because everybody quits, okay? I did not know how easy it is to win until, see, I had very little self-confidence. But when I figured this out, I was like, man, I'm going to dominate. Because I saw grown-up people with all sorts of different things, and they always had excuses, and they always quit. Because they told me one thing, and I was very coachable or naive, whatever you want to call it. They said that you make it this, you figure out, you become very clear on your vision, and then you make a decision when you're up that you're going to get it. And you never change that decision when you're down. So there was many times, almost on a daily basis, when I was down. But I already knew I'm never going to make a decision when I'm down. You guys understand? So you never make a decision when you're down, even when you want to get a divorce, by the way. I got you, suckers. So even if you're going through a relationship problem, you never make that relationship problem that I'm going to separate when you're down. You make sure you go back up and with a clear vision, why you started it, very clear, energy up, all that stuff. Then if you wanted to leave, that's a different situation, okay? Just so you know, okay? And I just realized most people cannot make decisions when they're up and keep it when they're down. I saw this so many times. You know, one of my mentors told me, hey, you gotta go to self-improvement events. Every quarter, you need to go. You need to go. Self-improvement events is like taking a shower for your mind. And sometimes people are like, oh, I went last year. It's like saying I took a shower last year. Well, that's why you smell. Well, you don't smell maybe, but your thinking does. Yes or no? If you literally have not gone to a self-improvement event last quarter, chances are your thinking stinks. And you don't know it because just the same way you cannot smell your armpit. Anybody know what I'm talking about? How many guys ever seen somebody that doesn't use deodorant? They come next to you, you're like, stinky. And the guy's like, woo, feeling good. They don't even feel it. Yes? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay. You been to anybody's house that use a lot of curry, Vishnu? Right? Oh, yeah, this is what it is. They don't smell it, but you go in there like, whoa, what is this smell? Right? So, see, the thing is we don't know the smell. It's the same thing with our thinking. You think, oh, my thinking is fine. I'm very focused. No, and then we go, yeah, this guy, man. His thinking stinks. Okay? So how excited about his vision, how clear he is on his vision, like how much he's thinking about this stuff. This all matters. Okay. So vision is important because it determines what you build, what you ignore, and what you become. More importantly, is important is what you ignore, by the way. Okay. And then what you're building. Okay. And by the way, even though I'm going to go through this and I'm going to have you guys work on this next week and bring it back and see what you got, I am telling you right now, the best way to create a vision is you need to go away from your normal place. This is why whenever we go to the self-improvement event, like the 16, 17, 18 one, I always tell people, like, if it ends Sunday at 2:00, don't leave right away. Like maybe leave at night or the next day or something and take 2-3 hours, just 3 hours, 4 hours. Go somewhere that's not your house, not where you live. Okay, that's you're somewhere else. I don't know why, you guys, but I know my mentor told me this, and I know 100% when I'm in a different city, when I'm in a different state, okay, and I'm in there and I'm writing stuff down, I'm a lot more clear about my vision, you know? So even in an airplane, I put my headset on. I love being in an airplane because nobody can call me. So it's freaking awesome, and I can really work on my vision. Okay. All right, so let's talk about what's the difference between vision and goal. Vision is the final picture of what you want to achieve, your ultimate destination, okay? Versus goals are the measurable, actionable steps that breaks that vision into achievable milestone. You got it? What's the difference between goals and vision? Okay. Vision, the big, inspiring end state. Goals, the specific, measurable steps that leads you there. Are we all clear? So one is like, here's how it's going to look like. These are the specific goals that I got to hit to get there. Okay. Now, elements of a powerful vision. Let's talk about elements of powerful vision. A powerful vision is clear. This one sentence is so good. A powerful vision is clear, number one. Number two is future focused. Number three is emotionally compelling. There has to be a lot of energy with the vision. I'm going to talk about it. It needs to be value aligned. That means it's in alignment to your values, to your core values. Identity driven. You need to change your identity to become this person. And it's bold enough to stretch you while guiding your daily decisions. So to break this down and make it more clear, here it goes. Number one, what do we mean by clear? A powerful vision is easy to understand. If people cannot repeat it, they can't follow it. If I hit you, I didn't mean to miss you. Okay? Vision needs to be very clear. Yes? So right now, what is our vision? 100 million. What's 100 million? 100 millions of money paid out to our team. That's basically what our vision is. All right? 2 years, we're going to be at a position where we pay $100 million to our team and 400 locations. So 400 locations, 10,000 licensed agents. Once we get to 10,000 licensed agents, 400 locations, we're going to be paying $100 million a year to our people. Yes? Which is, by the way, before I forget, just so you know, we have a massive campaign going on this month. This is the first time I'm announcing this, if you didn't know. Since I'm talking about vision, who better you can learn a vision from somebody who's already a billionaire, who already achieved a lot of their vision, okay? So one of our mentors, his name is Rich Tolly. How many of you guys know Ed Milet? Okay, many of you guys know Ed Milet. So Rich was Ed's mentor, okay? Rich is like the GOAT, okay? Nobody's ever done what Rich done in our industry. So I'm talking about Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch's, anybody, okay, has never done it to the extent that he's the most successful builder of all time, we can argue, okay? Billionaire status, never talks about his net worth, very simple guy, but probably the best by putting a vision together and following it clearly. So when we were talking to him, we're gonna have a campaign since our goal is to get to 10,000 licensed agents, which is, by the way, nothing, by the way. Think about this, there's 500,000 realtors just in California alone. There's only 300,000 financial advisors in America, and they're all looking to serve people with a lot of money. Okay, so we're completely in an underserved market, you guys. So 10,000 is not even a drop in the bucket. Think about this, 500,000 people just in one state, they sell houses. In California, you throw a stone, you're gonna hit a realtor. That's basically how it works, okay? How many guys know somebody who's a realtor? Everybody. And it's very normal for everybody to be a realtor. What do? I'm an engineer. On this side, I do real estate. I'm a stay-at-home mom. What do you do on the side? I have a real estate license. What do? I have a tech company. What do you do? I have a real estate license because I've wanted to buy my own real estate, right? How many guys know what I'm talking about? Almost everybody's like that. But that never existed in the financial space. So all we're changing, because you never see somebody say, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but on the side, I'm a financial advisor. Do you ever see that one? No. It's the same thing as real estate. You just need to get a license, and it's a lot easier, yes? But you don't see people saying, hey, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Over the weekend, I do some Goldman Sachs. I'm an engineer on the side. When I get a chance, I do a little bit of Merrill Lynch here and there, right? Nobody ever done it. So that's what we're doing, and this is how we're changing this industry. So here's the goal, okay? Just so you guys know. This month, we have it very simple. The goal is 2 direct. So somebody helps us grow with 2, okay? Basically, people that want to start their own businesses and or have license, and $10,000 of production, which is basically about helping about 4 families, yes? So anyone who does that, we're gonna go see Rich Dolly. We're gonna have a very cool meeting with Rich. This is this month, okay? And everybody with me? Who's excited about this? Anybody who's at 2/10 this month, we're gonna be going to his place, and we're gonna be sitting down with him kneecap to kneecap for 2 days, and he's gonna teach us how to put a business plan together, vision, all that stuff. How many guys gonna qualify for it? I'm just don't even raise your hand. Okay, you're big, just better do it. Okay, all right, here we go. Let me go finish this. If it's confusing, it's not compelling. Okay, the vision needs to be very simple. Okay. 2, inspiring and emotional. Inspiring and emotional. What does that mean? A real vision moves people emotionally, not just logically. It creates desire. It wakes people up. It makes sacrifices feel worth it. Okay? Number 3, it must be aligned with your core values. So, a powerful vision must match who you are, not just what looks impressive. So, for example, Chris, right before I jump on a call, he said something to me. I don't know if he's there or not. Chris, you said something that was very powerful on this. Can you share what you just told me on this?
Can you hear me?
If you're there. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I hear you. Just say something.
Good. So, and I guess there's a personal thing, is that I always knew that I wanted to do something big. I wanted to be successful and generate a lot of money, because it costs money to live. It costs money to raise a family. But I didn't want to do that and sacrifice my values. I just didn't want to do that. I spent 10 years in the music industry, and I was telling Kash that we probably would have gotten further in the music industry if there were certain things that I didn't want to do, and that was conversations that I had. But then when I came here and I saw what was happening here and the successes that people were having here, and particularly going all the way up to the top with one of the first event that I went to, and I saw Rich, and I was telling Kash, I told him that day, I said, if that's the guy that's at the front of the ship, I'm in. Because I do it, and I want to be able to look at myself in the mirror while I do it. So
this is a very important part. So for example, I always wanted to be a great dad, okay? So then I needed a business that it allows me to be with my kids all the time. You follow? So it automatically, certain businesses were out. You follow what I'm saying? If I had to be in a certain office environment where I cannot have my kids with me. This is why wherever I am, wherever is the office, the kids are at the office, for example, or wherever I am. So that got to be there, right? So you got to look at your values and be like, the business you want to do, is it aligned with these values that you want to have? Okay? Like this is why it's so important. What's important to me? What are the values that I'm willing to die for? Okay, what are the things that are important to me? Okay, was it freedom? Okay, what is it? So if it's freedom, you need to be able to be free and go wherever you want to go. Okay, so become clear on the values, and it's going to help you a lot when you're putting your vision. And if you do this the right way, you're going to see, like, maybe this route is not the good route to go. Even though, hey, it's a very profitable business, but, do I want to be in the, I don't know, wheat business, if I want to build a family business? You follow what I'm saying? Okay, so next, if it violates your value, you'll abandon it under pressure. Okay? Bigger than you. It needs to be bigger than you. Almost done. The strongest vision go beyond personal comforts and includes family, includes your team, includes your community, includes legacy and impact. So in other words, the vision that you're putting together is not just like, oh, I want to live in this house. Okay? So you only get one life. So you want to put a vision, so when you put it together, it's really making an impact to your community. It's making an impact to all your family. Okay? So this is why the business you pick, it does matter. Okay? Because a lot of people have they have businesses in a sense, it makes good money, but they have a lot of crappy personal lives. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Just look up some stories, man. Look how many freaking people became billionaires and they ended up in divorce. I'm telling you, I just knew if that was the case, I didn't want to be in that business. Okay? Now, it needs to be believable. So however big you put it, you need to believe it. In other words, it should stretch you without breaking your belief. Like if it's too big and you don't believe it at the time, it's not going to work. Too small, no motivation. Too unrealistic, no conviction. The sweet spot is I can grow to this. I can become this. Okay? Now, identity driven. Ooh, I could talk about this one session. So, a powerful vision is tied to who you must become, not just what you want to have. Okay? Let's talk about this one for a second. Okay? So, when we talk about identity, the strongest force in the planet is for you to be inconsistent with your identity. So, for example, so many people try to lose weight, but they lose weight and they gain it back. Who many ever done that? Because they lose the weight because they go on a diet, because it's not their identity. They go on a diet because they're going on a trip. So when I learned this, and I learned it from Tony Robbins, he said, look, you got to change your identity on who you are. If you want to be able to, so I said, you know what? So one day I was 200 some pounds and I made a decision that I'm going to change my identity. So I said, who my identity need to be? So I said, my identity is I'm an athlete. Okay. What does athlete do? They work out. Do they work out because they go on a trip? No. They work out when? Every day. Okay. So I didn't look at it as this thing to do for a certain period of time. I looked at it as this thing to do until I'm going to be dead. Okay. Because I'm an athlete. Athletes exercise. Okay. You guys understand? That's like we were talking about changing identity. Now, a lot of times people make decision based on who they are today instead of making decision based on who they can become. Like a lot of times I see people say, well, I'm not good at sales. So I said, okay, is that who you are now? Or is there a different version that you can become? In other words, how can you be a business owner if you don't like sales? Let me ask you a question. Is there any business in the planet who doesn't sell something? No, it doesn't exist. Even nonprofits sell stuff. Okay? Even a nonprofit needs to say, hey, can I raise money? That's sales. Yes? Now there's bad sale, which is called being pushy, and a good sell, which is asking great questions, giving a lot of value, and so on. Okay? Most people have a wrong expression of what sales actually is. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is, don't say like, I'm not good at sales, so I can't be. I'm not good at I never could stand in front of people and speak ever. I remember the first time it was in my engineering class, and our professor asked us to come in front and show something, and I went in there and I sweat all the way, and I said, man, I would never ever get in front of a group of people, and there was maybe 10 people in a group. Okay, So a lot of times people make decisions based on who they are today instead of who they can become. Yeah? So look at that picture in your mind of that person. Okay? Imagine yourself on stage, some kind of a place, and you're sharing your story. Because I can guarantee you, almost every person who became big in anything, they're on stage someplace. Yes or no? Yeah. You name me anyone, started any business, that's whether they like it or not, you're gonna end up in some stage in front of people. Because people are like, oh, can you talk about your success? Yeah? So you're gonna look at that version. How does that person look like? How does that person talk like? How do they hold themselves? All those kind of things. Okay. So the stronger the identity shift, the stronger the vision. So decision guiding. A real vision filters decisions. I already talked about this. What to say yes to, what to say no to, where to spend time, money, and energy. 8, repeatable and shareable. If your team can't repeat it, it can't multiply. Okay? And by the way, if you have a small enough vision that you can achieve it yourself, that's way too small. You guys got it? I remember reading this book by John Maxwell, Putting Your Dream to the Test. And he's like, have you write down your dreams. And he said, the moment you write it down, it says, if your dream can be all accomplished by you, that's not much of a dream. Okay? Your dream needs to be big enough that needs other people. That's why it has your team in there. You guys get it? A vision that cannot be spoken can't be scaled. Last one, obviously, you got to write it down and you got to see it daily over and over and over. Now, since we're at the end of our time, I'm not going to continue this, but next week, just so you see a little glimpse, we're going to talk about, I want you guys to think about this stuff, but next week, I'm going to give you questions such as, for example, if everything worked out perfectly, where do I want to go? Where do I want to live? What does a perfect day look like in my life? So all sorts of these questions we're going to go through. Who must I become? What habit I must have? Who benefits if I win? Who suffers if I quit? Okay. So we got next week, we're going to go a lot more in detail on the question you must ask to craft your vision. Yes. And so come up. So start thinking about this stuff for until now to next week. Like, where do I want to be? How is it going to, don't look what business you want to be in. That's not vision. Think what life you want to have. The biggest mistake is people pick the business. Don't pick the business. Pick the life. Then we build the business around the life. You guys got it? Say, look, I want to have real estate properties all over this. I want to live in this state. I want to be able to do this. I want to have this. I want to be this. Look at the life you want to have without no limits. So what's your homework for next week? Just come up with this. If money wasn't an issue, if nothing wasn't an issue, how does your life look like? Okay? Not your business. Many of you guys want to go straight to the business, okay? Look at how does your life look like? Then you're going to come back next week. We're going to design a business around it. Is that cool? All right, everybody. We are right on time. We are fired up. Hopefully you learned a bunch of stuff today. Let's go out there. Let's help some families this week. Yes? Don't forget, our goal is what? 1,000 families. Okay? Fired up.
Let's go. Great.
All right.
Recording stopped.